more motivation is scarce, very, very scarce. I don't know about you, but for me, I can say that these days, especially with everything going on all around us, it's becoming very, very hard to feel motivated or inspired to do the things that are important to me. And please, if you have been feeling the same way, let me know in the comment section. Just say me too in the comment section so that I will know that I am not alone. If you are like me and you're also not motivated or inspired, in this video, what I just want to share with you is how I keep showing up and how I keep doing the things that are important to me, even on the days when I am not even close to motivation, and how you can also do the same. So the first thing that I do when I'm not motivated that I'm advising you to do is to question how important that thing is to you and question how interested you are in doing it, because we live in a world where society, culture, mainstream media, they present quite a number of things to us, and they tell us that these are the things that you should be interested in, these are the things that should be important to you. But many of us are actually not interested in many of these things. Many of us actually don't find these things important to the kind of life that we want to live. But somehow we just accept it because we are afraid of what people would say. We are afraid that will it not mean that we feel like a fraud and we feel like we don't know what we are doing and we'll be starting again from scratch and all of that. And all those fears are valid, but we actually need to question that. And the reason why I feel like that's the first thing that you need to do is that if something is not important to you, or if you are not interested in something, you will really not be able to sustain it for a very long time. And even if you are not willing to, let's say, drop it at the moment, or you're at the stage where you really can't drop it, maybe you're somebody pursuing a path that you're not really interested in, or that's not really important to you, but you're doing it because you want to channel maybe the savings that you are able to gather up from there into something that you are more interested in, later in the future. At least try to tell yourself the truth that I'm not really interested in this thing, as it were, and gradually start finding a way where you can do more of the things that are important to you. And the second thing to do when you're not feeling motivated or you're not feeling inspired, at least the thing that I do, is to rise above motivation and inspiration and find meaning and purpose instead. What I'm trying to say in that is that mainstream media makes us feel like we have to be motivated and inspired every single time. They make us feel like you have to be this person that is like a productivity guru, that you wake up at 5 a.m. and you're motivated to move on with the challenges of life. How they tell us, right? And I really don't have anything against that, but I'm just saying that I personally don't feel like that's realistic. I feel like it's not sustainable to feel like you would always be motivated. I mean, life would always come with challenges and things that we're not expecting, disappointments, failure. If you feel like something is important to you and you're really interested in it, try to find a sense of meaning or purpose, because that would help you to rise above just motivation, right? It will push you out of your bed on days when you are feeling tired or weak. Or let's say, for example, you know that going to the gym is important for you, but you are not motivated to do that. You can attach a sense of meaning to that, in the sense that, oh, if I don't get my muscles active, I may start to develop some health problems that would not really allow me to keep doing these things that I am interested in, like on the long run, right? So I have to do this. Or you can tell yourself, oh, I get to work and pursue this career path, right? Because I want to create a life that I'm fulfilled in, a life that I love. Or I'm doing this because I want to be able to tell my younger siblings or the people that are coming after me that it's possible for you to follow your dreams. All of that makes it much more worthwhile. For example, now, my last YouTube video, it took me like 40 hours to work on it because I was having some glitches with my phone and memory space and all of that. But somehow I persevered and I was able to still do it all the same because I was much more interested in the purpose of what I am doing. Another thing that you can do when you're not motivated or inspired is to create a conducive environment to do these activities that you are interested in, to do these things that are important to you. For example, right, I'm grateful to God that, okay, now I can have a place where I dedicate to just filming, right? So I have the background always hanged, I have the lights always like there and the sockets plugged in. So all I just need to do is just switch on the socket and everything is just there in place. The stool is there. I just need to sit, have my script ready and just film. So even when I'm not motivated or I'm not inspired, once I know I have something to say and I just look up and I just see the setup looking at me there, right? It becomes a little bit easier for me to just be like, let me just stand up and just do it. For example, now, building a healthy relationship with my family is important to me, right? And I know that to be able to do that, I have to like be in touch and call them and reach out to them, right? And so I have an alarm on my phone. It reminds me that I should call grandma, I should call my mom, I should call my brother and all of that. Having that alarm, like, it saves me. It reminds me. It makes it a little bit easier for me to remember and for me to do. So you may also want to consider doing that. Let's say going to the gym is important for you. You may want to consider putting your gym clothes, right next to your bed. Or if you feel like reading affirmations is important to you, you can have your affirmations written and you can stick them to your wall. So that when you wake up, you just wake up to see them. And even though you don't want to read them, like, you are seeing them. So your mind is like subconsciously reading them because it's already hard for you to like do those things in the first place. So, but when you make the environment conducive, it becomes a little bit easier for you to do those things, right? And another thing that I do when I'm not motivated or inspired to do something and I'm encouraging you to do is that remind yourself of how you would feel when you complete that task, when you do that thing. For example, last video that I made, right? Like I said, it gave me a lot of headache. But something that kept me going, was the fact that I know that if I'm able to like get myself to finish through that project, I know that I would feel this sense of fulfillment and peace and joy and confidence in myself. But if I don't get myself to complete it, then I know I will feel regret and shame and anger, and that's not really healthy. So you may need to have a journal where you write it in, or whenever I do so, 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 and so, I feel amazing, I feel overwhelmed with joy, I feel beautiful, I feel great, I feel excited, I feel fulfilled. For example, many of us like don't really like exercise, but we love the result that it gives us, and that's why, let's say you have been doing exercise for like a couple of months or a year or two now, and you put the picture of 5 years ago and now you put it together and you're like, look at me. Or you look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, look at how my thigh are thick, look at my shoulder, look at my arm, look at my chest. That's because you love the feeling that it gives you. So always remind yourself of how you would feel, or have somebody that would remind you, or write it down. When you focus on how you would feel when you complete that task, or how you would feel when people are able to resonate with you, or when they give you the accolades, when you are able to like push through, that can help you to move higher than just waiting to be motivated and inspired. It goes a very, very long way. And I also want to like chip it in that you should give yourself the grace to like evolve, because sometimes the reason why we lose our motivation is because we are feeling like, will I be able to sustain this, will I be able to do this thing for the rest of my life? And truth be told, maybe you would not, but give yourself that grace to just commit to the journey, to the process, to what is on your table at the moment. Execute the ideas that you have now, and then whatever happens, happens, right? Things can get to evolve and morph into something else later, but focus on the journey and the process and the ideas that you have at the moment. It makes it much more beautiful to like push through when you focus on that. And the reason why I feel like it's important to like understand how to reason and the things to do even when we are not motivated and inspired is that to live a peaceful and sane life, we need to do the things that fulfill us, the things that make us feel joyful, so that we can live with less regret and less frustration and less bitterness. But we will not always be motivated, right? So if we say we just want to do the things that gives us joy or that fulfills us or that are important to us, or even only on the days that we are motivated, then would feel too much regret and too much frustration, and that's not good. That robs us of our peace, and I don't like that, right? I always love us to always maintain our peace and always return to that place of being at peace and staying with ourselves, and that's why this is important, right? So let me know in the comment section the points that resonated with you, or if you feel like I missed out on something. Maybe there's something that you usually do when you don't feel motivated or inspired to just keep yourself pushing, right? And yeah, I'll see you in the comment section and on the next one. And stay peaceful. Peace.